Right then, you've got the motivation, the passion, and the balls to start a new business. But now what? In this video, I'm going to talk you through the steps of branding your business for world domination or local domination. Branding. It's just a logo, some colours, stuff like that really, isn't it? Nope. It is a beast of a thing, but it's much more simple when you take the time to understand the components. In this video, we're going to take a look at the external branding elements of a new business. We'll do this using the internal branding elements we created in a previous video, building a brand no matter the size. That was a shameless plug. Go watch it. Just as a reminder, that previous video was where we created a brand for Sarah, fake Sarah, and her floristry business. Before we get started on our external branding, let's look at a brilliant example of how a brand could be considered by the awesome Dane Walker. Pretty sure this dude isn't on YouTube, but he's definitely on Instagram, and you can find his details in the description below. Branding is like an iceberg. Many people think that what they see on the surface is your brand, but these are only elements of your brand, what we call your external branding. But all this counts for nothing if you don't have the core foundations to back this up. This is what we call your internal branding. I'm not going to get into internal branding today. If you want to see how we created Sarah's business brand strategy in 8 easy steps, you can take a look in the description below. Catch up on that video. Okay, still with me? Legend. Let's take a look at the components of external branding. The brand toolkit, your corporate stationery, and your marketing touchpoints. In order to understand how you can create great external branding for your business, let's work through these components using Sarah and her floristry business as our example. The brand toolkit. Hang on. Now, before I go on, I just want to say I could create a bloody lengthy video of all these components, but for today we're going to keep everything short and simple. Logo design. 4 key things you'll want to think about with your logo design are: keep it simple. Adding too many elements to a logo can cause problems when you come to use it in different ways. A simple logo should stand the test of time, even if it has minor tweaks along the way. Scale matters. It needs to work in various scales. How does it look big on the side of a building, and how does it look small on a social media thumbnail? Ensure readability. Is it easy to read? Does it have letters that are harder to make out than others? Are certain elements of the logo too small to make out? Explore icons. An icon can act as the perfect additional logo to your brand. If you're starting a cleaning company, please don't use a mop as your icon. Think about a more abstract way it can encapture your business, like the iconic Nike swoosh, created to invoke a feeling of movement and speed. Here's the logo for Sarah's business, A Bloom. Typography. Here's a clear definition of typography. In essence, typography is the art of arranging letters and text in a way that makes the copy legible, clear, and visually appealing to the reader. Typography involves font style, appearance, and structure, which aims to elicit certain emotions and convey specific messages. That last part is very important, to elicit certain emotions and convey specific messages. Basically, pick a crappy font and your business won't be taken seriously or in the way you want it to be seen. Here are 3 simple tips from Chris Doe on creating your brand typography. Pick one and stick with it. Skip and double for contrast. Use one of these fonts. Basically, any font will look ace for your brand as long as it's one of these. Sarah has chosen to go with Gotham for its simple yet modern vibe and the number of variations in its font family. Interestingly, Gotham was used on Barack Obama's 2008 presidential campaign. So if it's good enough for Barack, right?
Obama.
If you don't have the budget to purchase a paid-for font like Gotham, there's this thing called the World Wide Web, and you can find fonts on there for free. One we'd recommend if you're looking at Gotham is Montserrat. Colour palette. Colours speak to us. That may sound really profound and a little bit weird, but they do. Everyday people might not realise it, but talk to a designer or any creative person and they'll tell you the colours that you pick for your brand are a crucial part of the external branding process. Colour can also be subjective. To a man, red could mean risky or dangerous, but to a woman, it could mean sexy and romantic. Women also tend to prefer softer colours, whilst men prefer stronger colours. To identify your brand's colour palette, answer these 3 questions. We're going to do it now in order for Sarah to pick her colour palette for a bloom. What's the gender and age of your target audience? Sarah knows this will be women of all ages, but she really wants to appeal to women from 40 to 60. What's the behaviour and interests of your audience? Sarah thinks hers will be family driven and have a medium to high income and have interests in well-being, the outdoors, wildlife and art and design. What colours will give her the edge over her competition? Sarah has done her research and nearly all of her competitors use the colours green, pink or yellow. So let's take a look at Sarah's colour palette for a bloom. As you can see, Sarah has picked 2 primary colours which work well together, a rich red for pops of sophisticated colour and an off black which works perfectly as the foundation of her brand's typography. Style guide. Your style guide is exactly that. It's a guide which you, your employees and any external agencies or partners should reference to in order to make sure that everything you create is totally on brand. This means that all your external branding will be cohesive and on point. Corporate stationery. Now that you have your brand toolkit, you can start to pull together your corporate stationery. This stuff might include business cards, letterheads, envelopes and compliment slips. Here's a look at Sarah's. Looking good, right? Marketing touchpoints. As part of your external branding, you can now start to bring this to your marketing touchpoints. These should be your website, brochures, leaflets, social media, and could also include workwear, vehicle signage, and product packaging. Using this process is a great way to create strong and cohesive external branding for your business. Making sure you have continuity across all your touch points is a great way to delight customers and make sure that they'll remember you in the future and buy from you. If you get this right, along with your internal branding and your customer service, you, my friend, you're onto a winner. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out all our others. We cover brand and marketing for small business and startups. You'll definitely learn something. Promise. Be sure to follow For the Brave on all our social media channels. You can find those in the description below. And remember, brave business owners and entrepreneurs learn new skills, try new ideas, and aren't afraid to fail. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.